Alright guys, I'm finally here. I'm getting ready to go all the way up to the top. I've had people ask me, why did I choose Singapore for my vacation? One is Singapore is a great place to do a lot of vlogging, which is, I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. My long-term goal is to start traveling more. The second reason I believe I chose this place is back in 2012, I took a flight on the Singapore Airlines from Houston, Texas, all the way to Domodedovo Airport, Moscow, Russia. And I had a really good flight attendant that went out of her way to help me. And she made sure that any questions I had while we were on our 9-hour flight, that she was able to help me with it. One of the things that she did is she actually, at the time I remember, she offered me if I wanted chicken or salmon. I remember this vividly like it was yesterday. She kept apologizing because they didn't have salmon, and I preferred salmon because on long flights, salmon just settles in your stomach much better than chicken does. Because it's their culture to be polite and nice, it's just the way that they were raised. She still asked me if I wanted salmon or chicken, and I just said I preferred salmon. She didn't have it, but she kept apologizing, and I said, trust me, don't worry about it. It's just food. It's not the end of the world. So she told me, okay, I'll tell you what, when dinner comes around, you'll be the first one. Sure enough, when dinner came around, I was one of the first ones she came down to. And from a distance, I could see her coming down because I was probably in row, I don't know, 42, like maybe 5 or 10 rows away from the rear of the plane where the bathrooms were. I can't believe that she's coming over here. So she came over and she said, so sir, do you want salmon or chicken? And I said, well, what are you doing? Like I was speechless by the customer service she provided because I'm not accustomed to that kind of a customer service. And so long story short, she ended up giving me salmon. You know, I was satisfied, and I asked her later on, what you just did for me, is this how you guys are raised in Singapore? And she said yes. And so she said, if you get a chance, definitely stop by Singapore. And I wish I would remember her name or her face, because I would love to like meet her again and just tell her that I'm in Singapore. Taking an international flight that I've been wanting to take honestly for a long time, since 2012. Just wanted to show you a quick glance at where I'm going. I'm flying to Qatar Airways. They're in the top 5, one of the best airlines in the world. I'm looking forward to it. My first leg of flight is going to be 14 hours and 45 minutes. And then my second leg of flight to my final destination is going to be 8 hours. And I'm going to have a layover in Doha, Qatar for about 14 hours. I had a chance to wait till a lot of people left. So this was a crowded spot right here. This is Hamad International Airport in Doha, Qatar. Right now it's closer to midnight here. This is how busy this airport is. You can look around, it's a really nice airport, and there's a lot of people here still. It's such a busy international airport that it is recognized as the top 5, one of the best airports in the world. Almost midnight here, and people are still walking around and shopping. All the stores, everything around is still open. check this out. The wall behind me is actually a waterfall. Let me get closer so you guys can see. So guys, this is crazy. They have like a whole garden here. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Got so much stuff to do. It almost looks like a mall. We got shopping, and keep in mind this is already like 1 a.m. in the morning. Hey guys, so good morning. It's 10:30 a.m. This is my view out of my hotel room. I'm on the 6th floor for the next approximately 10 days. My goal for the next 10 days while I'm here is to plan on walking everywhere. My other goal, hopefully, is to try to hit every single Starbucks, which just for the fun of it, maybe not necessarily buy, but at least 25 locations here in Singapore. Starbucks is not everybody's cup of tea. No pun intended, because I just got my hot tea with Starbucks. Spent my one of my few first Singapore dollars here. Just FYI, since I'm already at one of the Starbucks here, if you have a Starbucks gift card that's US, most Singapore Starbucks locations will not accept your dollar. You have to buy a gift card if you are trying to earn points. Here behind me is the Parliament building, Singapore. It's my first day in Singapore so far and I'm really enjoying it. As you can see behind me, that is Marina Bay Sands Hotel, Resort, and the casino. I'm gonna be later on today in about a few hours go up to the very top of it's called C'est La Vie restaurant. I made reservations about a couple of weeks ago. If you do want to come down here, eat that at this restaurant, they typically say you gotta reserve it a couple of weeks. Hey guys, I decided to have a little chocolate mousse cake. It's a signature mousse cake from Starbucks, right here across the street from Marina Bay Sands. Behind me, I believe, is the statue, the Merlion, that shoots fountain out of its mouth, and now it looks like it's under renovation. I guess this gives me another excuse to come back to Singapore at another time. If you pull up on Google, just type in Singapore, you'll see that the Merlion, the statue behind me, that comes up as one of the famous pictures, as well as the Marina Bay Sands. So guys, I'm at the shops at the Marina Bay Sands, and the Marina Bay is like somewhere behind here, which I'm slowly making my way. Alright guys, I'm finally here. I'm getting ready to go all the way up to the top. Actually, it's way over there, the third tower. Have a little celebration dinner that I made reservations a while back at the restaurant called C'est La Vie. So guys, I'm on the 57th floor here at the Marina Bay Sand Tower 3. There's I think that's the entrance for the C'est La Vie restaurant, but I'm gonna go early, so they asked me to just hang out at the top rooftop. So I'm gonna go check it out and get some more good shots of it. Welcome to my next vlog. This is day 2 for me in Singapore. Look at that cool building behind me. Anyway, this is day 2. I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking today. Goal for the day is to do a lot of walking and then go through like different neighborhoods like this. Kind of get in the mindset of how the citizens of Singapore really live here. I'm gonna try to stay away from the tourist area because you don't really get to find out how the locals live here unless you get out and you start exploring. You gotta play it safe, you gotta play it smart, and you gotta do calculated risk. But at the same time, you're not gonna really know what's out there if you don't go explore. I'm gonna continue exploring Singapore over the next 8 days here. World War II bunker. So I'm going to be exploring this bunker, and then follow with me along as I take different videos of different things that's located here. I actually stumbled by this by accident, just walking around towards my hike, and so I stopped here. It's about 5-10 minute walk from my hotel. Sadly, it's part of human history. And during World War II, what happened is this particular bunker was designed for military personnel that were only allowed to, during their shifts, to be locked up in the rooms. Really strict rules. You could not eat, no drinking, no smoking, no talking. It was such a tight and secure quarters here that probably the reason why a lot of men looked very skinny. Phone exchange room. This was the sign that I just read, so I just want to highlight something. To avoid being detected for security reasons, they could only use 4-letter code names that they selected randomly from the alphabet every 48 hours. It took approximately to get connected about 45 minutes until they figured out a faster way to connect with the outside world. Cipher office room, which most that came in contact with this room remember it always being locked, and then messages could only be held for up to 72 hours, and then they had to be destroyed for safety and security reasons. Called the signal room, and often was also called the post office. People here were not allowed to talk or discuss any important matters, and then there was up to 7 people that were in this room. This was the Morse code room. This is where the lead officer would be stationed to make sure everything goes smoothly. This room had to be absolutely silent because they had to distinguish the Morse codes to make sure nothing was missed. This was also the room has evidence. All these things that you see, the walls, it has proof that the Japanese actually occupied the battle box bunker here in Singapore. One of the officers recalls years later, he smelled a lot of ammonium that came through these rooms. most likely was really hot and humid, and so there was a lot of heated discussions going on, a lot of disagreements. In this room, in case of they needed to escape, they had an escape room. Behind me, this hotel was actually the British headquarters for East Asia here in Singapore, and now it's been turned into a hotel. Guys, this is amazing. I'm at a park, which I stumbled by accident because I was actually on my way to hiking, but I'm spending about a couple of hours here now. Look at this. Behind me, it's trees, it's scenic views, and then right behind me is the city of Singapore. So it's crazy that you're still inside the city, and yet you don't feel like you're inside it. Alright guys, I finally made it. That behind me is the bridge I'm trying to get to. Not quite sure how to get there, so I gotta figure it out. That's supposed to be a really cool tourist attraction. I can't tell. It may be under construction, so I gotta go find out. Guys, it is day 3 here in Singapore. It's 88 degrees. It looks like it's gonna be another beautiful day. It was supposed to rain sometime this week, but I just checked the weather. It looks like it's all gonna clear up. So let's go keep exploring. I'm using a fairly new strategy right now, so I'm basically just putting in just Starbucks or just some kind of a landmark, a goal to get to, and then just seeing what's along the route, you know, something that's unique. So I'm about to head to the Singapore Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Singapore Chinese Chamber of Commerce. guys, I made it to Chinatown. I'm gonna go explore it and have authentic Chinese food here in Singapore. I do want to draw your attention to something. Look at the amount of gigabytes of data you're getting per month for your phone service. So I got a Singatel. It's a popular phone service here in Singapore, and I paid for prepaid minutes, and I paid 30 Singapore dollar, which is equivalent of about approximately 20 to 25 US dollars for 100 gigabytes. Now think about that. What I pay now back in US for prepaid, I pay $15 for 3.5 gigabytes of data. It's just crazy to imagine that here in Singapore they give you more for less, where in America they give you less for more. Another crazy thing that I'm looking at. I'm always looking for the best price, and no matter what I do, because it's like an old saying goes: you get what you pay for. You do work hard for your money, so you might as well stretch it as far as you can. So here's an example. You want to park one of your motorbikes. It's only 65 cents a day. That's like 48 cents in US dollars. That's all it takes to park per day, including holidays, Sunday, and Saturdays. Again, I'm just showing you proof that America doesn't have to be as expensive as it is. It's just there's no justification for what they're doing, for what they're charging. It really isn't. There's got to be a different way. I decided to eat at this restaurant. Again, I was just exploring, and it just seemed like pretty good food, and it was already getting closer to like 5 o'clock. I had one of the special dishes. I wanted to ask them properly how to eat it. You know, they suggested I just eat it with the fork, but I was like, no, I mean, I really want to eat the way you guys normally eat it, to get, you know, embrace your culture and the way that you guys eat the food. And so they said, yeah, we usually eat it with chapstick. Belly lamb mouton is stuffed. Belly skin is wrapped inside of lamb meat. I had 2 of those and ate it with chapsticks, the whole thing. I definitely recommend stop by this place. Really friendly staff. They were really supportive, considering the fact that I'm fairly new to all this, and I let them know that I'm visiting Singapore for the first time. Here's a question some of you might be asking me. As you can see, the sun is setting here in Singapore. Is it safe to walk around when it gets dark, whether you're male or female? Let me give you an example to make sure that sexism is kind of neutral. So behind me, not to be too much of a weirdo, but there's a lady walking by herself, right? So obviously it's safe for ladies to walk in the middle of the night, or when it gets close to the dark. And I'm back at the Singapore Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Here's a helpful tip for you next time you're traveling internationally. So far, this is what I'm learning on the fly. The easiest way, if you're going to be walking around everywhere, the easiest way to remember where you've been and where you're going is map it out on Apple Maps or Google Maps. Make it easy on yourself. Don't complicate it. Use common sense, I guess, more than anything. Let's say it's trying to weave you in and out of little streets. Figure out a different way. Figure out where it's a straight shot, where it's as little turns as possible, wherever you walk in the world. You know, whatever country you visit, do remember some of the streets that you're walking on, some of the landmarks. That's the easiest way to remember where you've been, because you basically should be backtracking instead. guys, I'm on to day 4 now. There's just a lot here to do. The one thing I will say about Singapore, since I've been here walking around, if you're looking to explore Singapore and come down here, the one thing, whether you're an environmentalist or not, the air is so fresh. Like, even though they have cars everywhere, you don't really get to smell or inhale a lot of pollution. Singapore is definitely a place I would recommend for you if you are looking to, if you're coming from a country or a city where you drive a lot and you want to kind of like a change of pace and just walk around and explore. Singapore is definitely the place for you. One of my best friends, Caleb, Preston, told me and shared with me is you can definitely take a ride or on a taxi or possibly even rent a car for yourself or a bike or a motorbike in places like these. But I do recommend, just like my friend Caleb recommended, walking is way better because you could actually stop, enjoy the view and see certain things, whereas if you're driving, you have to come to a traffic light, you're more distracted by multiple things, especially if you're new to a country where you don't necessarily drive or used to their driving. Like here in Singapore, it's kind of like in England, they drive, depending if you're in America, you're going to stay on the wrong side of the road. But if you're in Singapore and the rest of Europe, you're driving on the right side. So I can't say which one is right and wrong because it all depends on which country you come from and which country you're willing to adjust to mentally with an open mind. This particular Starbucks that's in the office building, they just shared with me just to price compare between what US, how they do their tall, grande, and venti cup sizes at Starbucks versus how they do it here in Singapore. So in Singapore, if you get a tall or grande, basically small or medium, you pay the exact same price. Now, if you get a venti, it's obviously going to be slightly more. In US, you actually get charged for every individual size, tall, grande, and venti. So 3 different price breakdowns. This is my 5th Starbucks location that I've been to. So I'm trying to gather, just different data, just kind of figure out what countries, how they do things, and what keeps them moving. This entire building, this all used to be a mall at one time. They turned into an office space now. It's impressive from the outside. It looks like residential, but really it's all office building and office space. It's incredible. Rain wasn't in the forecast. I did not expect it to rain today. Oh, and as I'm saying it, it's pouring down even more now. Guys, it's still raining pretty heavy. Only thing that's protecting me is this leaf right here. So I'm just hanging out by this leaf, enjoying the rain, enjoying the fresh air. This is incredible. This is another mall. I'm exploring the different malls here. They have a ton of them. normally try not to eat sweets too much. Like the sign says, I like it thick. I got a Choco Bueno, which is dark chocolate with Choco Bueno on top. It is almost 9 o'clock here. As you can see, there's hardly anybody around me. I've seen ladies walk through here, and I've seen guys walking by themselves. At nighttime in Singapore, it's definitely a safe place. Here's another thing I noticed. Just to kind of like reassure you, if you are thinking about coming to Singapore, if you've never been to Singapore, this is definitely the safest country you could possibly be in. My point of view, I think it's a lot of their laws are more common sense. If you steal, you gotta get punishment. Like if you assault somebody, there's gonna be consequences. Where in America, it seems like you could steal, like in the case of California, you can go to California and steal $500 worth of looting from a business that is trying to survive, and yet the Californian lawmakers, they'll just tell you, oh, sorry, can't do anything about it. If you're looking into Singapore, Singapore is definitely a better option than California. Hey guys, on to my 5th day starting out here in Singapore. If you visit Singapore, here's the trick to staying cool at times. Trick is to go inside once in a while just to cool off a few minutes, or get a drink of water, or in my case, to a museum. So that'll give me time to cool off by the time I get there. I've learned so far walking outside is the best way to actually explore the country. For those of you that are going to be traveling to Singapore or any other major location, try to think of or pinpoint in your mind location where you feel comfortable with, that's familiar to you, that is familiar to a lot of tourists, and then to work off of that everywhere if you're going to be walking. So like for instance, right now, there's Marina Bay Sand. I was just there a couple of days ago. This is my day 5 walking around Singapore. And if you haven't heard me say this before, I'll say it again. When I visit these places, I want to know how they truly live, because it's easier to visit a place and just be a typical tourist. But something like this is so priceless to see. So don't get me wrong. Seeing a Marina Bay was an amazing experience, and I'm definitely going to go back there. But you don't really get to understand the culture, the people, unless you actually step out of your own comfort zone and walk somewhere. When I do my future trips around the world, I plan on doing the same thing, just walking everywhere, because it's the best way to know how the locals live. If you're going somewhere where you want to splurge a little bit because maybe you work hard like me, where I work about 60 hours a week, then yeah, go ahead and splurge, but just make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Don't stress out over it. Give yourself anywhere between 6 months, a year, upwards of 2 years, and start saving. Be frugal with your money no matter where you are in the world. General admission is in Singapore dollars is going to be $20. So US dollars, that's going to be less than $15. this definitely gives you a better idea of what the nation and the country of Singapore went through before they became who they are today. The reason I keep showing you Marina Bay is because that's one of their latest projects that they finished around 2010, so about 13 years ago. But this definitely gives me a better understanding, more of an amazement to how great of a country this really is and what they've gone through and what they became today. Here's another better view of the Parliament here in Singapore. It is located right off of North Bridge Street, one of the main streets that goes through the downtown area of Singapore. Quite a beautiful building structure. Look at that little robot right there. It goes back and forth and it collects the menus. The reason I wanted to talk about this restaurant real quick is Singapore's got a lot of really cool, unique restaurants, and this is nonetheless one of the unique ones. Here, they give you like raw vegetables and like meat, depending on what you want to get. They bring you water in a pot and a soup, depending on what you order. Like I got mushroom soup, and then they put this hot plate for you, and then you put all your raw vegetables, your meat into this big metal pot and you wait until it boils, which it doesn't take that long, 5 minutes before it started boiling, maybe 7 at the most. You take it out one at a time and then you put this in this little bowl. You got rice that comes with it that you select. You just start eating. By the time you finish eating, it feels like an endless food coming out of that pot. And between the mushroom soup and then the vegetables and the lamb that I had as meat, it was definitely filling. If you guys get a chance, come to Singapore, definitely stop by one of these places. Hey guys, it's day 6 starting out here. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my current hotel where I'm staying at, the V Hotel off of Bencoolen Street. I called the room service downstairs and all I asked is I just need a couple of bottled waters and just, trash bags because I can clean the room myself. The trash cans are fairly small, but they're not expected to be for 2 weeks worth of visits. I called probably 5 minutes ago, maybe 7 minutes ago, and they brought it pretty quick. I just want to show you this. So this is how amazing customer service is here. And keep in mind, this V Hotel off of Bencoolen Street, it is a 4-star out of 5 stars. There's my room. Sorry if it's a little bit messy, but here's what I want to show you. Look at this. I asked for a couple of bottled waters. They bring me 6 of them. And then the other thing too, I have 2 trash cans. One here that they just emptied. Friendly guy came in and he emptied. And there's the second one. The customer service in Singapore, it's almost like an art. And every day is like a new day for them to serve somebody better. That's what impresses me about this particular hotel bar as well as the entire country is for them, first impression is everyday first impression. Even if you've been, in my case, with this hotel for about 6 days so far, and I'm going to be here for another approximately 4 to 5 days. A lot of the things, if you're wondering how I find places besides walking, is this place I found on the official Singapore Instagram page. I saw what they can do here. A lot of the stuff that you order here is made right here in the backyard. It's about as organic as it gets. Growing up in the Russian orphanage, our orphanage was located in the woods. So I know the true meaning of organic because our orphanage, we grew our own vegetables, things like cabbage, cucumbers, tomatoes. That's the reason I chose this place, the summer house, is because they grow their own vegetables and plants. So I'm looking to try some of the things here and document it just to see how good it really is. here's my food. I kind of ordered everything at the same time. This is a duck with roasted potatoes and all the vegetables and fruit, and then Brussels sprouts. I ordered that too, and that's the dessert. Guys, I was just talking to my waiter, and this right here, this was part of the yogurt, and this is Jello that you could actually eat, and it comes with the edible flowers and everything. It tastes pretty good. My waiter, he was asking me what I'm doing here, why I'm in Singapore. I said one of the reasons is celebrating my birthday, and so he surprised me with a red velvet birthday cake. I just finished eating dinner here at the summer house. It totaled about $55 with everything. It was well worth it considering that it was 100% organic. And I talked to my waiter. He said most of their plants and vegetables are grown right here in their backyard. My way of suggestion, if this is a good place or not, or the way I'm starting to see things, is customer service, unfortunately, and I'm speaking to people from US, unfortunately, you might relate with me. Customer service in the United States is not the same anymore, and it's pretty much changed ever since COVID. This one, the customer service was outstanding. My waiter slash host, he treated me like a human being. He was very attentive to me. He was really understanding. There was one particular dish that I asked him about, which was fruit yogurt parfait with fresh fruit. And below it, the base of it is actually Jello. I asked him if I'm supposed to eat that because I wasn't sure if that was something I was supposed to eat. And then I asked him about the edible flowers, and he said, yeah, you could eat the flowers as well. That's something I didn't know before, but I know now. The summer house, it is about, if you're going to be staying at the city center of Singapore, for you, that's going to be about 11 miles north. Basically, my number one rule is if you can provide exceptional customer service, then yeah, you got my stamp of approval. A tiny island like Singapore, they pride themselves in customer service, which is basically top notch. Every time, like I've gone to like a mom and pop kind of shop and I got the same exact service as I did with this restaurant, the summer house. The thing about people that live in Singapore, no matter whether you go to a really expensive restaurant or mom and pop shop, affordable restaurant, you're gonna get the same service here in Singapore. So that's the reason I chose to come down here to Singapore overall, is because I've heard customer service is exceptional. And as you heard me say in one of the videos before, titled, Why Did I Choose Singapore? Why did I come to Singapore? And that's basically because Singapore people really know how to put their best foot forward, how to respect everybody, and the way they treat people and their customer service is basically as if you're the customer for the first time. So regardless of whether you are the customer for the first time or your 20th time at a place like this or any other ones, they're going to treat you the same way, and they're going to treat you with respect, with kindness. They're going to answer any of your questions, and basically you can spike up a conversation. Like with this waiter, I feel like I made a friend. I'm definitely, for sure, when I do come back to Singapore, I'm coming back here just for that main reason. I'm going to attempt to walk 3 hours from my hotel because that's where the summer house is, and my hotel is approximately 8.5 miles. It is about 8 o'clock at night, so I should get there about 11-ish, depending on where it takes me. I'm going to at least attempt to walk at nighttime in the dark, just to see exactly just how safe Singapore really is at night for one person to walk. And my guess, I'm sure I'm going to run across some females that are by themselves. And again, I only say that because I want to make it neutral, so that way, whether you're a man or woman, you know that after I walk, you know that Singapore is a safe place to walk during the day or nighttime. Passing over a bridge, one of the large highways here. So far, since I've been walking from there, maybe quarter of a mile, so far they got sidewalks everywhere. Because where I just had dinner, it used to be an old Royal Air Force base. Here's another example where they have plenty of lighting. There's a dog right there in the distance. Looks like a friendly dog, but I can't tell if he's going to try to follow me or not. But again, You got plenty of lighting here. It looks like they definitely thought this through for any pedestrian that was going to walk in the dark time. And there's the doggy again. I'm going to show you something. So I'm still walking. I've probably done about 25 to 30 minutes so far. So you've got another stairs that you can climb that go all the way across to the other side. Right here, there's a bus station that's fully lit up. And so you've got a bunch of houses, apartments here. So far, again, I've been walking for about half an hour. It is still humid. It's probably in mid to high 80s. I've been walking for almost half an hour now, and I don't feel any danger. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not being naive. I am being smart. I'm looking around, but so far, everybody's kind of like minding their own business. Along the route, there's a fence. Anywhere there's wilderness, you're gonna have a fence. This fence right here goes all the way down to the sidewalk over there. So you basically have separation between you and the wildlife. Should you come in contact with wildlife. For the next couple of weeks, they got lanterns going all across different places in Singapore. Guys, my waiter tonight, as I got to know him better and he got to know me better, he did share with me that if you were to take a car or a bus ride across the entire country of Singapore, it would take you approximately about an hour. It's not a very big island by car. From this point where this miniature mall is that I came across, I still have about 2.5 hours worth of walking. I just thought of another helpful tourist tip for you if you're somebody like me that prefers walking everywhere. What you want to do is put a destination on the map, route it yourself, study it slightly a little bit. This road that I'm on right now is going to take me probably at least 2 miles. So I know I don't have to look at my phone. I can put it down, relax, just walk around, because if you act like you know where you're going, no one's going to bother you. Not that anybody's bothered me. Act like you belong. I just walked past two girls that were walking by themselves at it's about 9:30ish, and I just crossed them by that bus stop, and they were just walking, but they both looked like they were in karate, because one of them had a red belt, the other one had a black belt. You know, for girls, it's safe to say that it's safe to walk. Look at that, that's a girl running by herself in the dark. I'm trying to drive the point home just how safe it is here in Singapore, even in the middle of the night in the dark. If you're gonna be walking, or if you're somebody who likes to stay in shape and exercise, no matter what outfits you're wearing, make sure it's athletic. Funny story, when I was in high school, one of my classmates, he used to wear nothing but Under Armour. Socks, pants, shorts, t-shirt. Years later, now I understand why, because one, Under Armour, hats off to them. They really make durable clothes. There's not a lot of stuff nowadays that companies make that is long lasting, because like I'm wearing Under Armour right now, and it's wicks away the sweat, and it's a heat gear is what I'm wearing. If it's heat gear, it cools you off because the sweat wicks into the clothes, but then with the wind, it airs it out. Just make sure whatever you're wearing, if you're going to be walking or jogging or running or biking in another country, do yourself a favor, wear something athletic, because you're only helping yourself. Because like I knew Singapore when I was coming here, I knew that it was going to be humid and hot. Typically Singapore, this is like their monsoon/rainy season. I've only been under the rain one time a couple of days ago, and it does rain pretty severely, and the thunderstorms and lightning, they are pretty severe here as well. Just be cautious of that, but typically in October, the rainy season is about 20 days out of the entire month. Let's talk about real quick traffic lights. It's about to change. You're gonna hear a sound coming first. As it blinks, it's gonna keep us, the sound is gonna increase and increase. As I'm still continuing my walk, you're gonna have a lot of signs like this that says dismount and walk. It is for the safety of both the cyclists and pedestrians. If you're looking to ride a bike here, you can do two things. So right now I'm by another bus stop, and there's a ton of bus stops here. So infrastructure is better set up like right there. That's a double-decker bus. So you've got enough infrastructure for buses, to ride. But let's say you want to ride a bike. Almost every bus station I've been at now so far, they all have bikes that you could just rent straight from the bus stop. Behind me, there's some guys and gals playing nightly basketball. I'd say, I mean, they are in their neighborhood where there's apartments, so again, I would say it's a pretty safe country to be in. I'm about an hour away from my hotel, which is about 3 more miles to go. Basically, I did 2 hours of walking. You know, Singapore, really impressive country in terms of how clean they are. Just behind me, behind that building over there of this apartment complex, I saw somebody, keep in mind it's like 10:30 at night already, someone that was sweeping the neighborhood. So it's impressive. Two things: either they have a night staff here in this country that sweeps the neighborhoods, which kind of would make sense. Again, I'm not gonna presume that I know. Or second thought I have is it's a really devoted Singaporean that loves his country and wants to keep it clean, which that could be the case too, because I have met a lot of Singaporeans that from different backgrounds, Indian, Malayan, or Singaporean, or even Chinese, and they absolutely love living in this country because it's an inclusive country. People leave you alone. Again, I'm a prime example. I've been walking for about 2.5 hours now. Just to give you an example, there's the type of sidewalks to expect. I mean, that's the stairs going up, but you've got, if it rains, you've got coverings all around. Here, when it comes to inclusivity, people leave you alone. I mean, I've met some very fascinating people here, and nobody judged me because I'm probably the most standout kind of person here compared to everybody else. And yet nobody looked at me weird. Nobody was like pointing fingers. Everybody treats each other equally. Almost there. Got about 1.5 miles left to go. So far, I've done more than half now of the walk. Seen some interesting things, seen some interesting people. Got a better understanding of how the locals live here. All right, guys, it is 5 minutes till midnight here. I finally got to my hotel, the hotel. Here's a little recap. So 3.5 hours and 9 miles later, I'm here. One thing I don't recommend, flip-flops. Don't wear flip-flops. I did not really think this through very well. I mean, my feet aren't really hurting, but still, would have been nice if I actually had regular tennis shoes on. Alright guys, it is day 7th here. If you Google Singapore, especially at nighttime, you'll see Marina Bay Sands, the Gardens by the Bay, and then Merlion. They're all going to be lit up, but if you've seen my previous video about Merlion, it is currently under renovations as of October 7th, 2023. Usually October is their off season, so it may be why they chose October to be the best month to get the Merlion done, because when I looked at the date of when they started working on the Merlion, it said September 25th, and I got here on October 5th, so I basically missed it by about almost 2 weeks. Had I been here a couple of weeks ago, I might have been able to catch the Merlion, because it's such a symbolic statue and a figure for the country of Singapore that it holds a lot of history. On my way to go to the Marina Bay Sands, it is about 7:15. Here's another reason I love Singapore. Like every day, if you look over here, there's some group of people dancing, and it's about 80 degrees. One thing I love about Singapore is there's always something to do. There's never a shortage of things to do. Just called the Fountain of Wealth. This is really close to the Marina Bay Sand area, about 1 more mile. Alright guys, I'm getting closer. There's the Marina Bay Sand at nighttime. Look at the really cool bridge behind me. I'm gonna try to attempt to go on it. This is so beautiful. This doesn't cost you anything. Wow, this really is a magnificent building even at nighttime. It looks like a spaceship, it's like a boat, whatever your imagination deems appropriate. Hey guys, I made it to this purple bridge. I was going to try to walk. If you have questions exactly where does this bridge lead, it starts actually right here at the shops at the Marina Bay Sands. Let's walk all the way that way to see where it leads us. I'm at the end of this purple bridge, which leads you just to the other side of the sidewalk here. I'm back at the shops at the Marina Bay Sand. I mean, look at this beautiful water fountain display that they have here. In case if you don't know what Starbucks Reserve is, they source some of the rarest coffees in the world, and a lot of them have their own pastry shops that they bake things in-house. One of my largest Starbucks Reserve that I've been to there's one in New York, in Chelsea, and then that's another one, but I think this one's a smaller one. Trying to get into this restaurant Gordon Ramsay has. I just made my reservations for tomorrow at 5 p.m. Friday the 13th. Ooh, kind of spooky because it's October. Anyway, yeah, I just want to try it because I like Gordon Ramsay. I think what he does is he's got great food. It's going to be approximately $36 per meal here. They have so much food variety from all over the world that if you're looking to eat, you've got so many options, so you can't go hungry here at all. Show you something real quick. It's like 10 o'clock here. I chose one of these restaurants to eat at. I've been eating at some really nice restaurants. I've been eating at very unique local cuisines just to see what the price breakdown is, how much the value of the food you're getting. So here's an example. I ordered one of the cheapest items on the menu here at shops at the Marina Bay Sand, which supposedly is supposed to be one of the most luxurious, most expensive shops here. I purchased with tax, that says $8. You translate that to the current currency, that's equivalent of about $5.86. Here's the meal that I got. So I would say that's a lot of food for $5.86. I didn't know Singapore had their own coffee, or Singaporean coffee, which dates a while back. It consists of coffee with condensed milk, which is one of my favorite types of milk. Hey guys, I'm still here at the mall. I've been here for a couple of hours now. I didn't really expect it. I just got inspired because sometimes you got to slow down and not really worry about your daily mundane things, and that's one thing I'm learning that Singaporeans really do a good job at. They know how to pace themselves, and they also know how to balance work and life. So I'm learning how to really balance work and life and enjoy life along the way too, because you only get one life. You might as well fully enjoy it like this. this out. This is crazy. This is a Ralph Lauren water fountain display. That's just crazy. I've never seen anything like this. They actually have in this mall a miniature river going right through the mall here. That's so cool. That's a wrap for me for the night. I spent some time at the shops at the Marina Bay, had some authentic Singaporean coffee, some local cuisine. I'm heading back. I got a 2-mile walk back to my hotel. Should take me about 45 minutes to get there. This is considered the first tower, second tower, and the third tower. And if you definitely get a chance to come down to Singapore, this is definitely a landmark I would highly recommend. Almost forgot, here somewhere is where the infinity pool is, which is, if you type in Singapore Marina Bay Sands, one of the popular pictures that will pop up is that infinity pool. So gorgeous. It overlooks half the Singapore downtown city area, and it's really beautiful. I wanted to go there, but it cost about $550 per night, 750 Singapore dollars per night to stay at this hotel. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to splurge that much because I don't really want to spend $550 a night. I would have to save maybe another couple of years to justify the cost. It's my third night now walking by myself in the dark here. Give you guys another idea how safe it is. I'm gonna be walking through that tunnel right there, and Marina Bay again is right there next to me. Pretty much everywhere you go in Singapore, you've got plenty of lighting, which is most of them are all LEDs. That biker, he just came through the sidewalk. Here in Singapore, you are allowed as a biker to come down here with your motorbike, but you got to give ways to the pedestrian first. It's just incredible that you could walk here. It's almost midnight. It's like 11:30 at night here, and I'm able to walk, not have to worry about my safety. The more I walk, the more I'm understanding the culture, the more I'm understanding the people here, and just how safe it is here for both men and women. I'm walking back to my hotel. I've probably got another half an hour. So I know I mentioned this before, when you're walking everywhere, you want to kind of memorize the landmarks or the streets. Street I'm looking for, which I'm going to be turning, it's called Raffles Avenue. And then from there, it's a straight shot. I go on Raffles Avenue all the way down till I hit Bencoolen Street, and I'll be at my hotel. I'm almost to my hotel. I just want to show you that that's a Fairmont, Singapore. Huge, beautiful skyrise. I was there a couple of days ago just having afternoon hot coffee because it was pouring down rain and I didn't have any other choice. The reason I'm bringing this up, so if you look behind me right now, there's a lot of historic buildings like this that are fully lit up with either incandescent light bulbs or more modern ones. And right now I'm walking next to, it's called the Raffles Hotel. It's been here in Singapore for a while. If you're choosing to come to Singapore and you're looking to either get in shape or get some exercise done, you're always going to have some kind of lighting to help you. Guys, it is officially day 8 of just walking around exploring. Just another day, kind of my last full day to explore. This is my last day. I'm hoping to eat here. This will be my third try. I've been trying to attempt this for 2 times now. This is gonna be my third time, so hopefully third time's the charm. I do have my reservations, but you never know. Like, they get booked up pretty fast. That's probably why I got declined the last couple of times. Good morning, guys. It is 11 o'clock here. I'm getting ready to pack to fly to Doha, Qatar. This again has been my beautiful view for the last 9 days and 10 nights. I want to show you what I've been packed out of this whole week, and just to show you that whether you're a guy or a lady, you don't necessarily have to pack for 2 weeks worth of stuff, carrying a large luggage that you have to check, plus a carry-on, plus a backpack. What I've done for the last 2 weeks is I've been living comfortably out of a backpack and a carry-on. This is my suitcase that I've been living out of for the last approximately 10 days. It looks like a regular suitcase, and it's designed by SoulGuard. It is 100% recyclable, renewable energy. I didn't buy it because of that. Here's the cool thing about the suitcase. The suitcase is called carry-on closet, and I'm going to show you in a second what a carry-on closet really means. This is my closet that I've been storing everything for the last 10 days. And that right there, that is the carry-on closet. Let me walk you through it really quick. The carry-on closet has a lot of space that you could store a lot of things in. Here, this is all your socks and underwear. Now, I chose to put in a Ziploc bag in because you could squeeze a lot more in there. So all my underwear and socks are in a Ziploc bag, so I have a lot more space in here. This is all my t-shirts, and this is my camera equipment, and then I just fit in my swim trunks. This are all my shorts and the belt, and then this does zip up. This compartment zips up. This stays open. You also have an additional storage, which if you can see my hand right now, all this is empty, so I still got to fill it up. And this also will zip up. This is like your extra shelving space that you have that you can put your flip-flops and whatever else you want. In this suitcase, you have your TSA-approved 3-digit code that you can put in that locks, and nobody can open it except for you. Make sure you do remember the code somewhere, because if you don't remember it, you cannot open the suitcase, and these would be the handles to open it. You also have this compartment as well that if you zip up, it's an extra storage. So right now I got my shoes, my flip-flops in there. The shoes fit comfortably. They have a special holder for your shoes. Okay, there's 2 ways to actually put your carry-on closet so it hangs nice and tight as you're packing it. One is you have these 2 clips that clip on like that, and that will keep your suitcase from rolling back and forth. You want to lift this handle all the way up, just like that, and this is how a carry-on closet is held. It looks like it's a lot of stuff, and it actually is all going to fit into one little suitcase, and I'm going to show you after the results. If I were to review this carry-on closet, it's really good if you're going for 7 days internationally. However, it is not good if you are going to be traveling with just that and a backpack, which is what I have on now. Because if you overstuff it like I did, I actually had to get rid of some of the things like my nice dress shoes I had to leave behind, and then my flip-flops. It barely closed. They do say that you don't want to overstuff it. The first thing is the handle. Let me show you the handle. So the handle actually is stuck. My handle will not go all the way. It does not, because it's supposed to go up one more level, and so I think because it's jammed here, because the carry-on closet is not designed to be overstuffed. So that's one bad thing I would say about the carry-on closet. If you are overstuffing it with souvenirs from another country, right here, this back portion, because it's like bulged a little bit, it will not go up all the way. I actually had to tape it just to be on the safe side, but this portion right here, it's a little bit bulged because I barely was able to close it. So these little locks I had to tape over just to be on the safe side, but not sure if you can tell really close, but this portion right here is actually not sealed all the way, and I did the best that I could. But again, The souvenirs I got are like once in a lifetime from here from Singapore. So I'm trying to do my best to transport it with me. It did lock, but I taped it just to be on the safe side. Hopefully it does not break while in transit. Just checked out of my hotel. It's called the View Hotel that I've stayed for the last 10 days. So I really want to talk about, how good of an experience I had here. You've seen in some of my videos I've done about it, like things like something as simple as a water bottle. Hey guys, it's day 6. Quick shout out to my current hotel where I'm staying at. I called room service downstairs and all I asked is I just need a couple of bottled waters and just, trash bags because I can clean the room myself. This is how amazing customer service is here. Here's what I want to show you. Look at this. I asked for a couple of bottled waters. They bring me 6 of them. By the way, this is a 4-star out of 5 hotel. If you're from the United States, you might be thinking, oh, well, that's got to be a bougie hotel or it's got to be a really expensive hotel. Honestly, for the 10 days that I was here, per night, this was about $100 per night. It depends on your budget. You could definitely splurge to something a lot higher because I've seen where you could stay at some of the American hotels that are here if you're feeling more safe, that you don't want to stay at a foreign hotel. I wanted to stay at a foreign hotel because I wanted to fully experience the Singapore way, because I felt like if I were going to stay at a American hotel, which there's a Fairmont hotel here, there is a Holiday Inn, there's a few of them here, and then there's a JW Marriott, which is a beautiful hotel. I didn't get a chance to take a video picture of it, but you can look it up. I wanted to stay at a local hotel just to experience their way, to completely immerse myself in the way that Singaporean hotel and hospitality really is here. The reason I bring that up is not to brag about how much I spent, but mainly to show you an example that for the same price that you could pay for 2 nights in United States, here for 10 days, I can expand it for $1,100. They have a pool on the 3rd floor. So behind me is their swimming pool. And I even brought my swim trunks, and I meant to swim this week while I'm here in Singapore, but I had no idea that they had this beautiful swimming pool. They have like an outdoor patio that you could sit at. Guys, I just want to show you this. I had no idea that this was in my hotel. This is on level 3. They have a little garden here that you could sit and, I don't know, just chill and relax. They also have right here, next to the hotel, they have a breakfast place that's also owned by View Hotel. You want to look it up, it's owned by Worldwide Hotels. If you type in WW Hotels, I believe it's either .com or .sg. SG stands for Singapore. So a lot of the websites, if you're looking for hotels to reserve, make sure you put at the end not .com, but put in .sg. Next to this View Hotel, they also have a money changing station, and that's the breakfast place. Getting ready to catch a taxi, which is called Tada. Let me talk about it briefly. Pretty simple transportation here. You download the app. You can either pay with cash or with any kind of form of method of payment. However, if you are coming from the United States, as I've said in my previous videos, you can actually purchase a Singapore SIM card. But if you do, before you transfer it, make sure you download the app Tada in the United States, because when you plug in your MasterCard, they are going to require you to verify your code that they're going to send you through your cell phone number. If you're downloading Tada and your MasterCard or your Visa or any kind of credit card is with US phone number, it will not send you a code through your phone number that is Singapore, because I tried that and it didn't do it. With the taxi service here, you would have to pay with cash. So I'm having to go into the exchange booth, which is right here, and it's really not that bad. It's about anywhere between 15 to 25 Singapore dollars, which equivalent of about $20 ride to the airport, so almost $1 a minute with tax included. All right, guys, I finally got to Changi Airport Terminal 1. This is also where the Jewel place is. The Jewel is, I believe, is after the water fountain that's one of the tallest here in Singapore and probably in the world. It's a water fountain that comes all the way from the ceiling comes all the way down, and I'll go explore it to show you a little bit. Here in Singapore for taxis, they have very high standards that taxis have to be clean. They can't be dirty. But overall, my experience in taxi with this was pretty pleasant. It wasn't bad at all. Check this out. This is a parking enforcement. It's kind of cool that they have something this advanced that just walks around, and so it eliminates the need for a person to actually walk around and give you a ticket. One of the other things in a lot of major establishments here in Singapore, the doors, the way they're designed, they will slide sideways, but in a lot of them, there's a button to indicate to say push. You push it and the door slide opens. There's a check-in area to check your bag since my flight is not till 9 p.m. All those stations you see behind me, you can check in your bag early. And then right behind there, you can actually put your luggage after you check in. That way, like in my case, I don't have to drag it around. Quick story, wasn't able to get to all the Starbucks here in Singapore. This one is a flagship. I'm gonna go check it out to at least add to my collection of Starbucks locations I've been to here in Singapore. I want to point something out. So right behind me, right there, is the currency exchange where when I first came down here the night, 5th of October around 21:30, I exchanged my US dollars to Singapore dollars. Here's a helpful tip for you. If you're visiting Singapore airport for the very first time, if you're flying from any US airports, don't even bother trying to exchange your money, US dollars to Singapore dollars in the United States, because they are going to charge you a fee. What you want to do instead is when you come to Singapore, you're going to be most likely, international arrivals are going to be at Terminal 1. Right around the baggage claim area, you're gonna come to an area where you can buy your SIM card and you can exchange your currencies. Do not exchange your currency in the United States. Instead, come to this location right here. They don't charge you any fees here. When I first came down here to this particular location, because right behind me, this is a glass door, so I can't get through it, but all that is baggage claim. That's where I came down to get my luggage. When I came down here, this is where you can buy your SIM card, which I highly recommend. I'll talk about that in a second. My first $200 US dollars that I exchanged here, I got 266 Singapore dollars. This is based on October 5th, 2023. Your rate may vary. You might get more, you might get less. They do have access glass from the outside and inside. Let me show you real quick. I just got on purpose. I spent 120 US dollars to get rates for the Singapore dollars. So I just want to show you real quick exactly what it looks like. If you're looking to spend 120 US dollars to trade for Singapore dollars, currently on October 14, 2023, you're going to get approximately 160 Singapore dollars and 20 Singapore cents. If you're looking to buy a SIM card, I highly recommend my friend Caleb Preston. Hats off to him for recommending this to me because it was a lifesaver. I'm currently on it's called Singatel. It's one of the best networks that they use here in Singapore. This is also where you want to get your SIM card. I paid 30 Singapore dollars here and I got 100 gigabytes. And I have a picture proof to show you that. Let me make sure you understood this correctly. For 30 Singapore dollars, equivalent roughly to $25 for 30 days, I got 100 gigabytes. In the United States, you cannot get that much gigabytes for that kind of money. There are some really good benefits out of buying your SIM card right here. My personal experience, and I'm still with the Singatel because I'm going to be here till about 9 p.m. So I'm going to get my full usage out of it. I've been using the Singatel for 10 days. It's got super high speed 5G network, and I've only used about less than 10 gigabytes of data. Money-wise, you're getting way more here than you do in US when it comes to the SIM card and how much you're paying for it. Guys, look at this. This is inside of an airport. It's one of the largest water fountains. Look how magnificent and beautiful that is. Hey guys, fair warning. Since it is a water fountain, you are going to get a little bit wet, but don't worry, you're not going to take a shower. Guys, again, I'm so impressed. Like, look at this. You can climb multiple layers here at this airport and still feel like you're in nature. I gotta show you something else. I mean, look at this. Behind me is water fountain. But this airport's got so much stuff to do. Like, I'm actually sweating. I didn't expect to come to the airport and sweat. But the sweat is well worth it. Whether you come into Singapore on a layover or actually come in and spend a couple of days, spend some time at this airport. I mean, I know it sounds weird because when you think about an airport, you think about just flying. This airport and this country, also Doha, Qatar is another one, they've reimagined how you travel, and they actually want you to be de-stressed and enjoy your stay here. But look what they have. They have a flight simulator that you could try. They also have a cycling classes over here with the digital screen in the background. So this airport has a lot to offer for you. I can't believe like how much greenery there is. A lot of these greenery you see behind me is authentic that they do take care of on a regular basis. Off to the designers and also people that run this airport. They've designed it very well. It's amazing the way they designed to make sure that every guest, whether you're going to dine or not, you're going to get a full 360 experience of this water fountain. I hit the mother load, I think. This is Starbucks Reserve. Let's go inside and check it out. Reserves typically are always a little bit nicer, and as I've mentioned before in my previous videos, Reserve, the meaning behind that word is mainly they source some of the rarest coffees and other items